Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest and welcome to January 21, 2025. There's about 22 minutes left of trading today. Wall Street closed overnight because of Martin Luther King Day, not because of the inauguration. I don't believe they would have a holiday for that ever. And if you ask me how we would perform today, the ASX today, because there was no lead in from Wall Street, I would have been uncertain. I would have said maybe up a little bit, maybe down a little bit, unless something happened in Asia that would lead our market higher or lower. But I was pleasantly surprised to see the market up a fair bit today, particularly small caps and tech. Small caps up 1.05%. Now, one of the reasons why we are up today is because I went to trading economics, not because I went to trading economics, but I did go to trading economics. And they do mention here, Asia markets trade cautiously higher. Well, up like we are, I would say trade optimistically higher. And one of the reasons why Asia markets are higher are because there are initial reports suggesting Donald, I love taxes, Trump might delay the imposition of tariffs, but he later threatened Mexico, Canada, China, and the EU with new tariffs. Maybe I should say might delay the imposition of taxes on his own people, because tariffs are taxes on your own people. Anyway, so that's why we are high, because possibility of delay in the imposition of tariffs. We're in that world right now. First day of the Trump presidency, second go at it. I've also noticed Bitcoin retreats from record highs. Bitcoin got to $109,000 the other day. Wow, go Bitcoin. Anyway, so that's the reason why we are higher today. A silly reason, in my opinion. Anyway, pretty good day, and you're not going to complain about that. Anyway, so today's agenda, we'll go through the ASX today, looking at the best and worst performing sectors, indices, also companies. Then we'll do the top 5 stocks of the day. I've already recorded the stock of the day, Liontown Resources. A nice little battle between that company and Hub24, which is also in the top 5 stocks. And the other 3 companies have released either Appendix 5B or 4C. Hillgrove Resources, share price down a fair bit there. Qoria, and also Global Health. So those are the top 5 stocks of the day. A few other companies didn't quite make it, including Mika, Novonix, AVA Risk Group, and Close Loop. Yancoal Resources released their activities last night. I'm pretty sure, no, I think BHP released theirs yesterday, or was it today? Might have been today. But it's not sort of the activities report I do look at, BHP. Anyway, so let's have a look at the market today. I was going to say pretty good day, but a bit of a wild ride this morning. The market went on a massive rally in the first hour on a bit of trading and then fell away in the next hour. So the first hour really good, second hour really bad, and then sort of consolidated after that. So I'm not sure what caused that big plunge at about 11:30, 11:45. Who knows what caused that? The market can be sometimes a little bit silly. Maybe that's a better word than silly, but it can be a little bit temperamental. Maybe that's a better word. A pretty good day for financials, discretionary, telecommunications, and materials, all up by over 0.75%. And a really bad day for utilities. What's going on there? And to find out, let's open up the ASX utility sector page and see what utilities companies are going down. And we'll rank this by market cap. Yes, Origin Energy down a fair bit, Contact Energy down. So a lot of these companies are down, particularly Origin. I would say Origin is double the size of the second biggest company. So Utilities has been led down by Origin Energy. Also, AGL Energy is down 1.06%. Okay, let's move on a little bit. Let's move on to the indices. Gold's had a really good day, up 1.9%. So down yesterday, up today. Banks are a really good day. Small caps are a really good day. In fact, no indices here are down, and ASX 20 up 0.69%. I would say with the banks having a really good day, the banks have shined. The 4 big banks have shined. Let's see if that is true. CBA up 0.79, NAB up a fair bit, 1.89, Westpac up 1.29, and ANZ up 1.64, Macquarie up 0.65, and the only company in the top 10 down is CSL. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, Goodman Group is down also. Only 4 companies down today, and those 4 companies are Goodman, CSL, Telstra, and Aristocrat. And the best performing company is REA Group. And coming in third is Pro Medicus. 2 companies I own. Go, REA Group and Pro Medicus. Okay, so let's have a look At the top gainers today, I did have a brief look at this maybe 2 hours ago just to see what was happening. I sometimes take a sneaky peek just to see if I might have missed any announcements. And I'll be honest with you, that's not how I look to see if I've missed any announcements. What actually I do, and I did this just before I started recording, and I did this maybe an hour before I started recording, is I just go to ComSec, go to the announcements, and yeah, and the last announcement I did see this was actually about an hour ago, actually more than an hour ago, according to it. No, it was an hour ago because I did see the KGL Resources CEO resignation and company update. I did not see the Vinyl Group completion of retail entitlements offer, but that's not the sort of announcement that does get me interested. Anyway, Corvus did release an investor presentation today. Go Corvus. You need to do that. Anyway, so let's go back to the top gainers. And when I did have a look at this, at the top was RLF AgTech. A really good day yesterday. They did release their Appendix 4C. I talked about that company, and the share price has rallied again today, up 25.71%. On fairly low turnover, that's probably the only red flag I do have. I would prefer higher turnover, but Pointera, up 20.27% on pretty good turnover. One thing probably to be a little bit wary about Pointera, they've had 2 really good days in a row, and we have seen a little bit of selling today because we do see a share price did get to about 9.6 cents. So we have seen a little bit of selling today, but 2 really good days for Pointera. This is what we want to see. Now, in saying that, we saw 2 really good days back in July, and then the share price fell away. So we need to see the share price remain probably above about 0.8 cents. If it falls away significantly, that would be concerned. The reason I'm saying 0.8% is that level, or that price, is the highs we saw back in July. We don't want to see the share price pull back too much because then we might see an acceleration in selling because of all the shadows who bought at high prices in the past. Anyway, Pointera, another pretty good day. RLF AgTech, another good day. And this is probably, I wouldn't say proof, but this is one of the reasons why I look at Appendix 4Cs and 5Bs every quarter, because they can move the share price a fair bit. They can turn the sentiment around in the company from negative to positive or vice versa. And possibly we're seeing that with 2 companies here, RLF AgTech and particularly Pointera. Global Health is on this list as well. I do want to talk about that company because it's in my top 5 stocks, and there is a reason it's in my top 5 stocks, and hopefully you should know what that reason is. Coonaberry Gold, I did mention that company yesterday. The chart looks interesting, up 15.8%. And Core Lithium up. That could be because of Liontown. I actually don't know. Maybe just a little bit of renewed interest in lithium. And there's Liontown Resources up 12.3%. Pretty good volume. That's because the market cap of that company is 1.72. If we have a look at top gainers by market cap, we see Yancoal. They released their quarterly last night. Maybe he deserved to be in the top 5 stocks, up 6.13%. Let's have a look at the chart for Yancoal. I didn't take a really close look at it, but when I see this sort of reaction, it must mean there's something to like in it. Now, when you have a look at the chart, I'm not interested in this sort of chart at all. At all. Share price was at these levels not that long ago. So I'm going to move on. Hub24 is in my top 5. We'll talk about that company later. Zips had a really good day. Neuron's had a really good day. I'm not going to complain about that because sure to have both. Bellevue, a fair few gold companies here as well. Bellevue Gold, Callus Metals. Kogan's had a nice little bounce. The reason I say nice little bounce, maybe the wrong word here. Kogan was on a really nice little rally. Share price pulled back a little bit, and now it's starting to reverse again. This could have been a buy the dip situation for Kogan because definitely the chart is looking much better now than it did not that long ago. So a little bit more interest in Kogan right now. Maybe the sentiment has changed from negative to positive. Canyon Resources, I did mention that company yesterday, and I did get a few replies talking about how there was a few recommendations. Here it is. So Canyon Resources recommended by new investors. Wide our fund, hence the move today. Keen to hear about these 10 stocks. Okay, yeah, so that's one of the reasons they were recommended by new investors. And in fact, I do subscribe to new investors' emails, and I got that email. I didn't read my emails until last night. And new investors can really move the share price of a company. So that's what's happened to Canyon Resources. Star Entertainment Group up and down like a yo-yo. Electro-Optic Systems did yeah, did confirm they will be selling one of their divisions in January. They announced that a few months ago, so they just confirmed that because there had to be some due diligence or something like that. And Money Me, go Money Me. So let's have a look at Money Me because I'm trading this. And so for completely selfish reasons, I'm going to have a look at the chart. And I have no complaints about this chart at all. A pretty good day. And the reason I like today is because the share price has moved to a long-term high. Yeah, no complaints about that. We want to see share price, if you're trading it, because it's in a good uptrend, we want to see it keep making all-time high. Maybe not all-time highs, but at least long-term highs. So we've seen that with Money Me. And there's Doug. Maybe a nice little bounce there. Okay, let's have a look at the top losers. Let's see if there's anything of interest here. Carnivore Energy, down 24.2% on pretty big turnover. I'm pretty sure they did release their appendix, or there's some sort of quarterly report or something today. It's in the back of my mind, I do remember seeing Carnivore Energy. Oh, Dorado project update. I did not open this up, even though my favorite word when it comes to announcements is update. Yes, trading update, profit update, project update maybe. Did not open this up because the project update, I don't really care, but maybe I should have. Share price down 24.52%. So obviously this was a little bit negative. I'm going to have a quick look at the chart for Carnivore. I don't think this has triggered on any of my screeners for a while, or maybe for a long, long while, and the chart looks pretty ugly. There is a bit of support. Just put it right there. Support at these levels. So the share price is hovering near support, which is the lows the company saw back in June or May. Anyway, so share price down a fair bit. Hillgrove Resources, I'll talk about that company, which I do own as well. Top 5 stocks of the day. They did release their Appendix 5B today. I wouldn't say it was disappointing. There was no surprises there, but I'm not sure why the market is reacting like this. They sort of hinted that this was going to be, I wouldn't say a bad quarter, but not the best quarter, put it that way. I'll talk about that a little bit more detail later in the video. Close the loop. There was a takeover bid for Close the Loop. The due diligence has come to an end or something, and so it's less clear whether this takeover bid will go through. So that's why the share price is down 12.8%. And that's about it. Let's have a look top losers by market cap. Bravura, Novonix. Well, Novonix has changed their CEOs. I'm pretty sure they lost the CEO or something. He's resigned. Novonix announces transition of CEO, and share price was down a fair bit at one point, so it would have been down almost 10% at the low point today. This is just increasing risk. A little bit more uncertainty. I'm not sure if they announced who the new CEO is going to be. I'm not sure if they announced why the previous CEO is resigning or he's moving on, but there could be increased uncertainties, increased risk when it comes to Novonix. And to be honest with you, the chart looks at this point in time. This is another company I'm following a little bit more closely because the share price has been going sideways for a long time. But yeah, there's no reason for me personally to even think about buying, even for me thinking about buying into Novonix. The only reason I might is if the share price gets down to about 50 cents, 52 cents, because that's a nice little support level. So that's Novonix. That's why their share price is down. New CEO, Lynch Group, nothing to do with ropes. Anyway, it's a flour company, I believe. Yeah, flour company. And SmartPay. I have not decided upon my top 25 or my top stocks of the 2025. I have 17. I have to decide at least the other 3. SmartPay, I'm thinking of putting that company in because the share price has dropped a lot. And when I say dropped a lot, I mean it's dropped a lot. But the negative sentiment in this company is quite insane right now. Is the market overreacting? I don't know. Yeah, the share price has dropped a lot. Share price at the height, at the peak this year or last year, was about $1.50. Now it's 44 cents. So is the market overreacting, or is there something wrong with this company or this area, this sector? Because I'm pretty sure Tyro Payments chart also looks pretty negative. Let's confirm that. Tyro Payments, well, not as negative, but still in a bit of a downtrend. And that's it. That's it. Okay. Let's get to the top 5 stocks of the day. A few companies did not make it. I've already talked about Novonix, Close a Loop. Yeah, that's about it. AVA Group did release a trading update, but it wasn't that exciting. I'm just wondering if the market thought it was exciting. And I have to remind myself, just because I didn't find it exciting, doesn't mean the market doesn't think it's exciting. And no, the market didn't think it was exciting. Trading update, yeah, didn't move the needle for me at all. Mika did release something today. Another drilling results, share price down a fair bit, a little bit of selling. Not sure why, but it's going to have problems falling below 10 cents. But I might do that over the next few days. So this is something else that can happen. When a share price of a company gets above 10 cents, you just got to make sure, maybe not hope, but if the share price does fall below 10 cents, that could be a little bit, I wouldn't say troubling, but it could be a little bit bearish. So I would want to see share price of Mika stay above 10 cents, but it's still well above any support levels, which is the moving averages. So the 25-day moving average is at 9.2 cents. Anyway, let's get to the top 5 stocks of the day. First, coming in number 5, not first, is Global Health. Share price up 15.4%. Okay, so this is not really a company I follow too closely. I did have a look at this company about 2014, I believe, and then I moved on. I have a feeling the share price went on a massive run sometime in the mid-2010s. We'll have a look at the chart in a second. And one of the reasons I don't really follow this company is if you have a look at their cash receipts growth, nothing much happening there. I'll show you that in a second. But let's have a look at this Appendix 4C and why it's coming in number 5. Whenever a company produces an operating cash flow positive quarter, I'm going to have a closer look. And Global Health did that. Cash receipts, $3 or just above $3 million. That's important because they have not had a quarter where they've seen cash receipts above $3 million. So there is a bit of a growth trajectory to the cash receipts. Not a lot. It's not growing quickly, but there is a bit of an upwards trend there. We'll have a look at the cash receipts history in a second. The company was operating cash flow positive by $382 million. Now, previous quarter, they had cash receipts of about $1.9 million. So there was a bit of an increase from the last quarter to this quarter. And I'm just thinking there could have been some delayed receipts that should have fell in the last quarter that fell through this quarter. So maybe the quarter is not as good as what we're seeing here, but they were operating cash flow positive. So I have to give them credence for that. At least they are operating cash flow positive. Are they free cash flow positive? Yes, because they have no capital expenditure. So all that cash fell to the bottom line, or most of it. Cash on hand, only $1.8 million. And the other thing I always have a look at is debt. So no debt at all. No, like they do have a little bit of debt, not a lot. Just a little, that's okay. Okay, so let's have a look at this company. By the way, what does this company do? Well, healthcare company, and I can't tell you what they do. I'd forgotten. Usually they do have an about section. Oh, they don't. Oh, here it is. About Global Health. They're just located in Melbourne, Victoria. The company is ISO 27001 compliant. Okay, I don't need to know anything more. Okay, so let's have a look at their cash receipts history. If they're not willing to put what they do in the about section, then I don't care. So this is the cash receipts history going back to, now I started following this company in 2014. I don't believe they were issuing Appendix 4Cs back then. So cash receipts, there is a trend upwards here. It's a slow trend upwards, which is not necessarily a bad thing. And I'm thinking about a company called MyNetPhone in the early 2010s. Gradual increase in cash receipts, but it was not lumpy. It was like up $100,000 each quarter. Eventually, they became cash flow positive and then profitable, and then the share price absolutely took off. I'm not sure that's going to happen with Globe. We can see on occasion some quarters are down, and it looks like each September quarter there is a dip in receipts. So I can see a bit of a pattern here. It's not coincidence that each September quarter is the lowest receipts. So it's good to compare to the previous corresponding period. So there has been a nice increase in receipts. So it's increasing. And maybe because they've hit their inflection point, operating cash flow positive, maybe the company has hit that point where they're going to be profitable and cash flow positive moving forward. I wouldn't count on it though. Now let's have a look at the chart for Global Health. Global Health. Now, when I was actually quickly going through their activity report or activities or their commentary when I was speaking, I did see the AI, the 2 letters AI. So maybe they're in that area. Now I'm just going to have a look at quickly look at the weekly chart, because I do remember the share price of this company going on a massive run. Wasn't this run? I missed this one. Yeah, actually it was 2014. That's probably why I did a bit of research, because the share price went on a massive run back then, and also went on a massive run in 2020, 2021. And in fact, it went almost to the exact same price, almost to the exact same price as it did in 2014, and the share price has fallen all the way back down. So maybe now's the time to think about buying this company. Although the share price, do I like this chart? It has potential. I'm just going to say that it has potential. If the share price gets above 16 cents, I would like that, because we saw the share price get to 16 cents on the 14th of October, although this is the weekly chart. Let's have a look at the daily chart. Do I like this chart? I don't mind this. So as I said, the share price did get to 16 cents in October. If it gets above 16 cents, I think, and it's close now, it's at 15 cents. I wouldn't mind this chart. The one thing I don't necessarily like is the volume, but we have seen a pickup in the volume in the last 2 days. So maybe this is the first signs of a shift in sentiment and a trend in global health. So maybe I should put this on one of my watch lists, and I'm going to do that right now. Global health coming in number 5. Number 4 is another company that released their Appendix 4C, Qoria. Share price down. Share price down. Not a surprise. Let's have a look at this company. It used to be called a Family Zone, so we'll call this company a tech company who deals with the, who deals with security of stuff. I don't know how to describe this company. Helping every child to thrive in the digital life. There you go. So I'm pretty sure it's something to do with safety, but I can't describe what this company does on the top of my head. It looks like they don't have an about section either. Anyway, the most important thing here, again, just like global health, is how this company is performing. Cash receipts, 28.2 million. A bit of a drop from the last quarter, but there could be a reason behind that. I'll talk about that reason in a second. And the company is operating cash flow positive, 3.4 million for the quarter. Look for the year to date. Operating cash flow positive, $18 million. Now, if this company had a market cap of, say, $100 million, I'd be like a share of this company, but it doesn't. It has a market cap of 500 million, 598 million. So there is already a bit of promise or potential priced into this company. But whenever a company has that sort of operating cash flow, I am going to pay a little bit more attention to that company. Investing activities, they do spend a fair bit of money on property, plant, equipment and non-current assets. I'm not sure what that is. I think, and I could be, I'm just guessing here, I'm guessing it's capitalized research and development. That's what I'm thinking. Sometimes they put into intellectual property, but that's what I'm thinking. And they do spend a fair bit of money on that, like about $5 million a quarter. So I wouldn't say this company was free cash flow positive for this quarter. But in saying that, I have a feeling, and I could be wrong, but I do have a feeling. Where's the search? There it is. I do have a feeling. Where is it? There it is. I do have a feeling that typically, yeah, I was going to say there is a little bit of seasonality to Qoria's cash receipts, and there's definitely a spike in cash receipts in the September quarter. We've seen that 3 years running. Massive spike, September quarter 2022, another one in 2023, another one in 2024, and then the next quarter you typically see cash receipts drop, and then the next 2 quarters, so we're talking about the March and June quarters, tend to be their worst ones. So I do expect another decrease in cash receipts for Qoria the next 2 quarter Appendix 4Cs they're going to release, and then a massive spike up in the last one. So there is a bit of seasonality, probably to do with school and the school year in America. That's what I'm suggesting, because the school year starts in late August, early September, which makes sense. The best quarter is the September quarter, and schools are more likely to pay for Qoria's services. So don't forget, for companies like this, there is a bit of seasonality. So take that into account when you do have a look at their quarterly reports. You have to understand that in my opinion. Okay, so let's have a look at the chart for Qoria. I sort of wish they just kept the name as Family Zone. It's just easier to pronounce. And for some reason, anyway, the share price of this company really popped up in April last year. I can't remember why. It really popped up. There was a really nice breakout just before that. So breakout on the 28th of March. So that would have been, what gets released in March? It could have been a trading update, something like that. Share price took off. It fell away in July, August. A nice little buy the dip situation, but who knows? The share price could have kept on falling. And the share price has moved into a nice uptrend since then. A nice uptrend with peaks and troughs, exactly what you like to see. Now, the last two peaks in the share price are at the same level at 50 cents. So it does seem like 50 cents is an important level for this company. And right now it's at 46 cents. So 50 cents would be a nice breakout. Another way to trade this was just buy any sort of dip. So the share price falls towards the blue moving average. That seems like it's a nice little support level. A decrease in volume the last few months is a little bit concerning. I'd like to see a bigger increase in volume. If I see an increase in volume in this company, that would be implying or suggesting that the fund managers are getting interested in this company or buying shares in this company. So Qoria, I have no intentions of taking trade position in this company, but definitely one to keep on your radar. Maybe, yeah, particularly if they can really expand that cash flow. It could justify their current market cap. Coming in number 3, we have Hillgrove Resources. I do own this one, down 17.9%. I'm thinking of adding, because I do think this is a significant overreaction from the market, because there's no surprises in this Appendix 5B. They mention, and I think even one of you mentioned in one of your comments, we have to do it here somewhere. Let's search HGO. Oh, so Roger said should have great production numbers, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, where is it? Yeah, someone did mention, I'm pretty sure, that they were expecting some lower grade copper in this particular quarter, and then it's going to get better. So we actually saw that in this particular commentary from management. Lower grade this quarter, and then it's going to improve the next few quarters. So the first thing I always look at again, now this company has recently gone to production, so they're still doing Appendix 5Bs. Here it is, Appendix 5B. So receipts, 31.7 million, and operating cash flow positive by 2.6 million, helped by GST, whatever that is, or other. Not sure what that is, GST. Anyway, so they were slightly operating cash flow positive this quarter. For the year to date, operating cash flow positive by 23.1 million. So if you compare this quarter to some of the other quarters, a little bit disappointing because of that low operating cash flow. But again, there's reasons behind it. So I am a little bit surprised the market is down today, or the share price is down, because I thought this knowledge was out there, but maybe it wasn't. Let's have a look at their commentary. Yeah, here we go. So this is the CEO and Managing Director, Bob Fulker. In line with the mine plan, stopes mined in December were lower grade than in prior months. This is set up for a return to high grade stopes in the March 2025 quarter. So I would say that they are going to improve their financial performance in the next few quarters, particularly if copper goes on a rally. But don't forget, this is a mining company, and the performance of a mining company is highly dependent on the underlying commodity they are mining. That's very important as well. So I was a little bit surprised the share price is down. I thought the market was a little bit more savvy than that, because these lower grades were completely expected. Here we go, another one. Lower grade stopes were mined in both November and December, which was consistent with the mine planned and performed in line with the block model. So again, it should not have been a surprise, but sometimes the market can do weird things. Now, one of the reasons why I was thinking, oh, this is an opportunity, because share price have fallen to the previous lows we saw back in September, but there is a bit of negative sentiment in this company. But if you go back and just have a look at the weekly chart, yeah, maybe now is the time to get interested in this company. Maybe now is the time to get interested or take another position. So I am thinking of adding to my position in this company, because I think the market is overreacting. And that sort of investing philosophy has worked really well for me in the past. When I do think the market is overreacting, it has worked well. So Hillgrove Resources share price down 17.9%. Hub24, quite close to becoming the stock of the day, but share price up 11%. Liontown Resources was a stock of the day. Maybe what I should have done, whichever share price was higher, was a stock of the day. And in that case, it would have been Liontown Resources. Now, my big mistake with Hub24 is only having it as a trading stock and then selling for a pretty good profit. I should have just maintained a holding. There was really no reason to sell, but I just wanted to take profits because the share price of this company has been a really good run. Now, in saying that, we had seen signs of a bit of a weakness. Now, they did release a market update. I'm pretty sure this was a funds under management or something like that. And a lot of times when I read these reports from like Hub24, Net Wealth, I sometimes think it's positive and the share price drops. Sometimes I think it's negative and the share price rises. So I believe I have no idea how the market is going to react to these reports. So that's probably another reason why it was not the stock of the day. Now, it's just, look at the funds under management or under administration. It just keeps on increasing. Platform average monthly flows, it's increasing. So everything's increasing. There's no reason to be negative about this company, except maybe the valuation. I'm pretty sure the company has a P ratio of maybe 100. So maybe that's the only reason to be slightly negative, but the chart still looks pretty good. So everything's growing. Everything's growing. And they discussed that in the highlights section. Pretty good inflows, record platform inflows of $9.5 billion for the half year. Total funds under administration, $120.9 billion. Ranked first for quarterly and annual net inflows. So nothing to dislike in this announcement. But usually when I find nothing to dislike, usually the share price drops. So I'm not a big expert on reading these sort of reports. Now let's have a look at the chart for Hub24. Interesting chart. Share price, a beautiful uptrend. Well, that's the weekly chart. Well, the weekly chart just shows everything, doesn't it? So when I did buy Hub24, I bought on this breakout back in August 2023. It was a most obvious breakout, share price at $30. And then I sold. I can't remember when I sold, but there was no indication. There was no reason to sell. I just sold because I just wanted to take profits, which is a dumb reason to really sell. In saying that, we have seen probably this is the weakest the chart has looked for a long time. And when I'm saying that, I'm not including what happened today. Share price actually looks like it wants to move down, and then we had today. Now, there has been a little bit of selling today, just a little bit. So share price was higher at one point. And the reason there's been a little bit of selling is because some shareholders did buy higher prices back in November, December. And for some reason, they want to get out of this dog stock. Yes, there are some investors who probably think this is dog stock because when they bought at $77, they thought the share price would keep on going up. They'll probably look at the chart going, oh, share price is an uptrend. I'm going to buy some shares. Share price will keep on going up. Then it dropped and they go, oh, this is dog stock. I'm going to get out. As soon as share price rallies, I'm going to get out. And there would be some out there like that. And that's why the share price has dropped a little bit today. Bit of resistance at these levels. Anyway, so chart doesn't look as good as it has, but a pretty good reaction for the market. Share price up 11% for a company that has a markup of $5.3 billion and a P ratio of 115.7. Stock of the day is Liontown Resources up 11.9%. They released their quarterly report, including the Appendix 5B. An important one for the company because they are operating cash flow positive for the first time because they went to production in August, September. So definitely a company I do have on my watch list when things turn around for lithium. So a pretty good day for Liontown Resources. You can have a look at their activities and cash report and also their presentation. They also had a webcast today as well. So I will release the Liontown Resources standalone video a few hours after I release this particular video. Okay, let's have a look at some of your questions to finish this video. So we've got to get rid of Hillgrove Resources. Adrian Caron, C-A-E-R-A-N. No idea how to pronounce it. Caron. Hi, Michael. Any insights what's happening to the Ramsey Health share price would be great. Seems a bargain at these levels. So let's just have a look at the chart. See what it's talking about here. And yeah, the share price has been struggling. Oh, geez. I didn't expect to see the share price just drop like that. I took a trade in Ramsey Healthcare, or what looked like it could be a breakout back in February of last year. So almost 1 year ago. That failed fairly quickly. And this is why you need to have a plan. Whenever you take a trading position, even an investing position for the long term, you need a plan. For instance, I have companies I want to own for the long term, and it will never say forever because nothing lasts forever, for the long term. And I know when I will sell those companies. So when it came to Ramsey Healthcare, I was hoping, or I shouldn't say hoping, I was planning for the share price to go high. That's why I bought. And I can be wrong. We can all be wrong because we're trying to forecast the future. And I thought, yep, it looks pretty good. So this is, if you have a look at it, this is when I took a position somewhere like that. In fact, I thought, oh, this looks pretty good. But then it just shifted pretty quickly. I would have sold when the share price dropped below this dashed line. And then lo and behold, the share price kept on falling. So I didn't have a position in this company for very long. In fact, the share price has fallen from $54 to $32.70. And no interest in this company at these levels. And the reason I say that is whenever you see the share price drop quite quickly, the share price does bounce, but the highs keep on lowering. So high, lower, high, lower, high, lower, and all the lows are lowering too. Lower low, lower low, and this will be a lower low. Why is the share price dropping? Negative sentiment in the space. The company itself, this used to be perceived as a really high quality company on the ASX. Unfortunately, if you just have a look at how this company has performed financially, I'd say the last 5 to 10 years, it has been a disappointing story. There's no growth, I would assume. So, well, looks like there's growth in revenue. If you look at the last 3 years, it's been a pretty good growth. In fact, everything's been growing, so I thought there would be no growth. Although dividends have been dropping the last 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years. Dividend is down. I'm not sure what's happening there. So P ratio is at 30.8, so it seems like a little bit frothy, but maybe something to do with the profit in the 1 year. Maybe there was some one-offs which drove the profit down. Price to book at 1.7. If it was getting to like 1 or below 1, I'd be more interested. If you have a look at the financials, so a lot of times what I do when I'm researching a company is I have a look at revenue and I'm like, ooh, revenue is up. So this actually is a little bit of a surprise. But what might be happening, maybe margins. Let's have a look at margins. I wonder if margins have been dropping. Where is margins, by the way? Yeah, why did I go to ratios? Oh, jeez. So gross profit margin dropping. Operating margin dropping. So we do have margins dropping over the past 10 years, and that actually is a negative sign. And fairly low margins as well. The operating margins are fairly low, got as low as 3.5% in 2022, which means even though revenue is growing, profit hasn't been growing quite as much. Is there value here? I don't know. That's probably the big question. Is there value in Ramsey Health at these levels? The market is not, or the chart doesn't look that good at this point in time. But if I consider this company to be high quality, and that's a big if, a huge if, maybe now's the time to get interested. Maybe. The other thing you might do is just have a look where the share price is now compared to previous years. The share price is now the lowest it has been since 2013. We're at a 10-year low. That's not really what you want to see. And the share price could keep on falling. It could keep on falling for a long, long time. The other thing to keep an eye on is debt. That's one thing I haven't mentioned. What's the debt levels for this company? I would assume fairly high. I'd say the capital expenditure is fairly high for this company as well. They have own hospitals. So there's a lot of things I'd have to know about before I would be convinced this would be even close to high quality company. Just looking at the chart, I'd say it's not. There's some concerns. And the other thing I like to do is, if you have a look at the weekly 200-day moving average, and I've got it there. So where the share price does stand in relation to that, and it's dropping compared to that. So probably not a big surprise because the share price is at a 14-year low. And as Charlie Munger says, the best time, I think he says, what is it? If you bought high quality companies when they're at the 200-week moving average, you will you'll do considerably better than the overall market. But that has to be in relation to high quality companies. So that's a big question I have for Ramsey Health. I don't think it's a high quality company. Share price is in an actual tailspin right now. It's moving lower each and every day. I just don't have interest in that particular chart at this point in time. So that's my thoughts. Of course, we're all different. Maybe you think this company has a very bright future and this is a great buying opportunity. As you say, it seems a bargain at these levels, but I would also say maybe someone said the same thing when the share price was at $50. Seems a bargain at this level, and then the share price has dropped 33% since then. Okay, that's it. That's the only question I'm going to have today. It's about Ramsey Healthcare because I have to go. Yeah, so that's it for this video. If you have any questions, any thoughts, leave it in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I'm not a financial advisor. If you need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.